My younger sister stayed with me for a week, helping out, and then I lashed out, calling her unattractive and idle. In response, she spat back, "No surprise he abandoned you," and walked out of my life for good. I'm the older sister, 34, with a 4-year-old son learning to knot his shoelaces and a 6-month-old daughter who sleeps peacefully in my arms. People label me sharp-tongued, fiery, domineering. They never ask why a woman grows this way. No one wonders what it's like to be betrayed in the 8th month of pregnancy, to watch your husband disappear with the wedding jewelry, the heirlooms my parents gave me for tough times, leaving me with a child asking, "Where's Daddy?" If you've ever pushed a broken-down car uphill in the pouring rain at night, you'd get it. The hill echoes only with your own gasps. You plant your feet, brace your shoulders, shove forward inch by inch, head bowed. No one comes to save you. You do it alone. You do it so often you forget what help even feels like. My younger sister, the steady one, the joyful one, the pampered one, got married, moved in with her husband, and built a vibrant new life, like the glossy wedding photos hung on her walls. I was genuinely happy for her, but deep inside a fracture formed. What I once had crumbled to dust while she was just laying the bricks for her own future. Call it envy if you want. I call it dread, the fear of being left behind. We've never gotten along. We clashed as kids, bickered through high school, quarreled as adults over trivial things that could ignite like a spark in dry grass. I called her fragile. She called me heartless. Maybe we were both right. My father lives nearby, still helping by watching my 4-year-old or soothing the baby so I can steal a quick shower. That week he went on a trip and he decided, not asked, that my sister should come help me. I thought, fine, maybe now she'll see my reality, not just hear it through brief phone calls but smell the diapers, feel the cries that shred sleep, taste the cold dinners interrupted by a child's sudden sickness. I wanted her to understand. The first day, she and her husband arrived early. He trimmed the lawn. She sat on the couch, cradling my daughter. I said thank you, but what gratitude can cover a relentless week? By 6 p.m., they left for my father's house. I washed dishes, counted bottles, eyed the towering laundry, smelled the fresh grass, and felt a pang in my chest like I'd hired help, not received family kindness. By the 3rd day, her husband picked up my son from school. I was thankful, but too much thanks breeds unease. Unspoken gratitude festers into debt, and debts demand repayment. I looked at her sitting there, quiet, her gaze dodging mine when I mentioned her appearance. Her silence felt like evasion. I despise silence. To me, silence is the trap people fall into to avoid the hard truth. What do you want from life? Aren't you going to do something about your weight? I asked, my voice cutting like a knife through cloth. Her lips tightened. I'm trying, she said. Trying how? I snapped, hearing my own venom. You're just sitting there doing nothing. Maybe I was wrong then, but my harshness wasn't born of cruelty. It came from a woman life had battered. I'd learned no one pulls you from the muck but you. I'd learned your body is your last stronghold. Let it crumble, and you're left with nothing. I'd learned blunt words, even if they sting, are better than fake kindness while everyone sinks. On the 4th night, she confided in me about trying for a child, the exhaustion, the nausea, the miscarriage she'd suffered 2 weeks prior. I froze. I didn't embrace her. I didn't play the role of the comforting sister from some feel-good video. I listened, a weight dropping in my chest. Bitterness surged, but I swallowed it. I had no right to break. Bottles needed washing, clothes needed hanging, alarms needed setting for 2 a.m. feedings. I saw her teary eyes, her world collapsing, but my arms were full with the baby, and my life has no pause. Whatever you need, just say, she offered. It felt like a flimsy lifeline tossed my way. I wanted to say, don't just try, fight. Instead, I said, you need to change, my voice a command, not a plea. On the 5th day, I caught her reflection in the mirror. I heard her uneven breaths. I knew she loathed her body. I knew because I'd hated mine too. After my first child, my face was puffy, my chest veined, stretch marks jagged as scars. I avoided cameras, deleted every photo. I'd lived that shame of seeing yourself altered, I understood. But understanding didn't soften me, it fueled my anger. Why see the truth and do nothing? Why wait? You're always talking, she muttered. Do you ever hear me? I gave a bitter laugh. I've heard so much I'm deaf to it now. I wanted to say, I hear the baby's cries all night, my own wheezing lungs, the fear whispering, if you collapse, who holds the baby? But I didn't. Instead, I threw out, Dad told me to talk to you about your weight. A lie. I pulled him in to make my words heavier. I knew I was cornering her. I knew, and I kept going. That evening, tidying toys, I caught her husband's gaze, kind, gentle, the eyes of a man who'd stand like a fortress for his wife. I mumbled a hello, my bones weary. By 8:30, the baby was asleep. By 9, my son was out. I sank into a chair, rubbing my temples. She sat opposite, clutching a cushion. The TV played a weight loss show, a woman's transformation earning wild applause. She sighed, "She's amazing." I shut off the screen. "She's amazing because she acted," I said. "You just sit." Her breath caught. "Stop it," she said. "No," I shot back. "I'll stop when you move." She stared at me like I was a monster. My words chilled my own skin, but her silence made me want to shatter the table. I knew she was hurting, scared, but my pain was different, the kind that makes you carry your own life like a boulder. "You're unattractive," I spat. The word hit like a flung rock. Her face paled like glass about to break. "You're idle," I added. "You won't even get off that couch." She choked, hands shaking. I recognized the panic attack rising, but I'd weathered too many storms to care about waves. "You're selfish to your future, child," I said. "You think silence is kindness, it's cruelty to yourself." "Stop," she whispered. "I'm having an attack." "Have it," I muttered. "At least that's something." That was the cruelest thing I've ever said. Night settled. The fridge hummed. I carried the baby to her crib, returned. She was still there, eyes wet. I stood in the living room, hands empty, my life split in two. The mother pushing a car up a rainy hill and the sister hurling stones to make her sibling run. I hated both, I needed both. "Tomorrow," I said, "you'll walk with me just 20 minutes. She shook her head. "I'm exhausted." "Exhaustion's why you need to move," I snapped. 7 o'clock, I'll knock." She didn't reply. I switched off the light, retreated to my room. In my mind, I heard footsteps, the steps of a woman forced to be mother, father, shield, light, everything. The next morning at 6:55, I stood outside her door, hand raised to knock, then dropped it. I heard faint breathing inside. Maybe she'd just fallen asleep. My hand shook, my chest a hollow well. No strength to be kind, none to be cruel. I turned, went to the kitchen, the kettle hissing. My phone buzzed, a text from Dad, a photo of the ocean, sharp sunlight. "Everything okay?" I typed okay, erased it, typed okay, erased it again. I sent a thumbs up, the code adults use when truth feels too heavy. "Sis," her voice hoarse came from behind. I turned. She stood there, eyes bloodshot, hands cradling her stomach like holding a ghost. "I'm sorry about last night," she said. I gripped my mug tightly. "Yeah," I said. "Let's just start fresh today." I didn't hug her. I feared a hug would break me. That noon, when her husband picked up my son, I glanced outside. Sunlight gleamed off their new car. I exhaled, a short, fractured sound like a sob. That was it, half a day of calm before the storm hit. I, the eldest, the woman scarred in places no one sees, was ready to say what would make the family despise me. "You need to change, not later." "Now, don't push me," she whispered. "No one's pushing," I lied. I remember that afternoon vividly. Late sunlight streamed through the curtains, gilding my daughter's sleeping face. She breathed evenly, but my chest thundered. My sister sat across, fingers clasped, eyes puffy. I spoke, she went quiet. I pressed, she dodged. Her silence wasn't softness, it was rebellion. "Are you even planning to change?" I asked, forcing calm. "I'm trying," she stammered. "Trying how? Sitting there all week." She swallowed, silent. My head hissed, always silent. I stood, marched to the TV, pointed at her. "You're idle, unattractive, too weak to stand. Have you thought about what kind of mother you'll be?" She shook, clutching her shirt. I saw the panic attack, racing heart, broken breaths. But instead of softening, I said, "At least a panic attack shows you're alive. Sitting there, you're already gone." Her eyes went empty. She bolted outside, footsteps heavy. I held my daughter tighter, my father's old words echoing. "She's fragile, don't push too hard." But how could I not? Life doesn't spare the weak. Then the bedroom door flew open. My sister threw herself into her husband's arms. I followed, voice rising. "I'm her sister. I have the right to speak, to push her." He didn't yell, but his gentle eyes burned. He slammed the door in my face. The wood shook my chest like a blow. I end Chinese letter in my own home. I sucked in a sharp breath, clutching my daughter, and shoved the door open again. "This is my house," I said. "Please," he replied, calm but firm. "She's having a panic attack. I'm trying to help her." I laughed bitterly. "This is my house. I'll say what I want." The fight wasn't just with her anymore, it was with him. He held her close, staring at me like I was the enemy. My sister sobbed, "I can't take this," and ran to the bathroom. The sound of her retching cut through the air. He followed her, leaving me alone in the dim room. I screamed after them, always running, crying, making everyone pity you. "Who lives your life for you?" No answer. The bathroom door slammed. The retching continued. I stood frozen, heart pounding, cast as the villain in a story I never wanted to star in. He returned, eyes red, voice taut. "Stop this. Don't make her suffer more." I laughed, bitter. "Suffer. She doesn't know suffering. Suffering is a husband stealing your jewelry and vanishing. Suffering is sitting alone, 8 months pregnant with no one coming. Suffering is a baby crying all night until your tears harden. His voice sharpened. You're wrong, this isn't how you help. I shouted. The only way is the truth, even if she hates me. Then my sister stumbled out, pale, shaking. She looked through me, hissing, no surprise he left you. Those words cleaved me in two. My daughter stirred, wailed. I heard nothing but that sentence. I wanted to scream, to break everything, but my throat locked. Her tears fell. She grabbed her husband and they stumbled out. Sandals shuffled, the doorknob clicked. I yelled, fine, go. I'll never ask for your help again. The door slammed. I stood alone in the dark house, my daughter crying, my chest torn open by her words. I knew then we'd fallen into opposite sides of a chasm. The explosion hit when the house emptied. My daughter's cries rang like sirens. I rocked her, hands trembling, haunted by no surprise he left you. I collapsed into a chair, knees weak, breath ragged. No betrayal, not even my husband's final suitcase dragging out, had cut this deep. I grabbed my phone. A message from her husband, cold as a judge's gavel. Consider my wife and our future children dead to you. If you need to settle gas money for this week, tell us. But don't contact us again. My fingers shook. I typed, how dare you, deleted it. Typed, I only spoke the truth, deleted it. I sent nothing, tossed the phone down. That night, I didn't sleep. The baby woke 3 times. I rocked her, eyes dry, whispering like a vow. Why, oh, you Chinese letter, you say I deserve to be left. I was left already, and I'm still standing. The next morning, my father texted from his trip. Everything okay? I stared, choking. I almost wrote, no, your daughters just ripped each other apart. Instead, I sent a smiley face. I knew he'd side with her when he returned. He always did. She's fragile, you give way, always me the villain. That afternoon, my son asked, where's Auntie? I swallowed hard. She went home. Will she come back? I froze, forced a smile. No, probably not, he whispered, but I like Auntie and Uncle. My heart cracked again. I hugged him, but inside, fury boiled. You like her and she called your mother worthless. 3 days later, another message from her. Don't call me again, you scream, curse, terrify me. You're a horrible sister, you don't deserve me. I smirked, typed back, yeah, I'm horrible. But I survive, my kids have a mother. You'd have crumbled without your gentle husband. She didn't reply. That night after tucking the baby in, I sat alone in the dim living room, the yellow light spilling across the tiles. The wind hissed through the door. I replayed it all, her on the couch, eyes red, clutching her stomach. I called her unattractive, idle, selfish. She said I deserved abandonment. Who was right? Maybe we were both broken by life in different ways. My phone lit up. My father heard your sister's side. I'll call when I can. I'm tired. Don't add to my burden. I clenched my teeth. As expected, he believed her. I wanted to write, she's not innocent. She cut me deepest. But I stayed silent. Silence doesn't lose right away. That night, I wrote in my journal. Typed, erased. One line stayed, if I'm the villain, at least I speak, you just weep. The next day, a neighbor stopped by, hinting, last week was lively, now it's so quiet. I forced a smile. Families fight sometimes. But I heard their whispers, she's so harsh. Poor younger sister, I walked on hollow, poor her, who pities me. That night, my son asked, doesn't Auntie love you? I bit my lip. It's okay. I have you. But alone, I whispered, I don't hate her. I love her enough to break her shell, to let the world hate me rather than watch her fade. I sat there till dawn, the clock crawling. Days later, my father returned, bringing a gift bag, a bottle of fine liquor, fresh-printed seaside photos. He sat, turned on the TV side. Travel's great, but home's better. I stood, baby in arms, heart knotted. The talk was coming, he called me over. About last week, I've heard pieces, your side. I gave half-truths. Her silence, her tears, her husband's slammed door. I said I just wanted her to change. I skipped unattractive, idle, selfish. I skipped no surprise he left you. He stayed calm. She says you cursed her, pushed her into a spiral, did you? I bit my lip. Dad, I just wanted her to stand. If she doesn't, she'll drown in tears. He looked at me, eyes heavy. You're becoming your mother. My heart seized. Why say that? He sighed. Your mother thought the same, toughen up, obey, live her way, until the family shattered. She lost everything. Remember, I swallowed, my mother's screams, her collapse flashed. I'm not her, I said, trembling. She left me when my husband betrayed me. You stayed quiet. I had to harden to protect my kids. He shook his head. The cost of your strength, you've lost your sister. His words hit like a sentence. I sobbed, clutching my daughter as she cried. I carried her to her room, my heart a mess. 2 days later, I heard she'd visited Dad with her husband, spilling everything, including no surprise he left you. He told me later, face heavy. You two like blades clashing, but you bear more blame. I shook with rage. Always me, huh? I'm not the only one wrong. He stayed calm. She lost a child, she's fragile, and you stabbed her wound. Isn't that killing her again? I froze. I knew I was wrong, but wouldn't admit it. She's weak to the bone, I shouted. If she never changes, her life's just tears. I won't let my kids grow like that. He shook his head. You think you're saving, but you're breaking. Your son's already used to your shouting. What memories do you want him to have? Yells, tears, or your sister's pain in the bathroom? I sank into the chair, speechless. His final words echoed. The truly strong don't shout loudest. They make others feel safe. I turned away, swallowing tears. Inside, I wondered if I'm like my mother, can I stop before I lose it all? The house was silent, heavy as stone. I heard the clock tick, the wind through the door, my father's words in my heart. The truly strong make others feel safe. I scoffed. Safe? Whoever asked if I felt safe? Abandoned at 8 months pregnant, sleepless nights, raising 2 kids alone, who gave me safety? I saw her shadow on the couch, eyes red, clutching her stomach. Her voice, no surprise he left you. I clutched my head, screamed, shut up. The baby wailed. I soothed her, whispering, your mom's not a monster, she just doesn't know softness. The next day, her husband's final message, talk to your father from now on, we're done. I threw the phone down, shouted into the void, fine, I'll never need you again. But my voice echoed hollow, like a loser's lie. My son ran out. Mom, why are you crying? I wiped my face, forced a smile. I'm not crying. Just shouting. Will Auntie come back? I choked. No, she's gone. I like Auntie and Uncle, he said. I turned away, biting my lip till it bled. He loved her and she tore me apart. Who's right? Who's wrong? That night I stood before the mirror. Hair wild, eyes sunken. I asked my reflection, are you the villain? Your mother. Did you ruin everything? The mirror was silent. Her voice, my father's, rang in my head. Horrible sister, you don't deserve me. You're your mother. I slammed the sink. No, I'm not her, not a monster. A tear fell. I whispered, or maybe I am. It's nearly 2 a.m. now. The kids sleep. The house is silent, terrifyingly so. I type delete, each word a cut on my soul. I think of her, the sister I vowed to protect. I remember her fall from a bike, knee bloody, me carrying her home on my back as she clung to me. I was her haven once. When did I become her nightmare? Maybe the first time I yelled. Maybe the day I pushed her to be strong when she needed an embrace. Maybe when I thought love meant forcing change. I sighed. If she knocked tomorrow, would I hold her? I want to believe I would, but maybe I'd still be harsh, bitter, pushing her away. It's the only way I know to survive. Am I the villain? Maybe. But I'm also the witness to my own wreckage, betrayal, ruins, endless nights rocking kids with wide eyes. If I'm wrong, my wrongness stems from warped love, tangled with fear. I don't know gentle love. I only know love that shouts, that pushes to the edge, hoping they'll fly. Maybe I've lost her forever. Maybe she'll tell the world I'm cruel. Maybe she's right. But if one day she stands tall and says, sis, I'm okay now, I, the villain, will weep. And I won't hide it. Until then, I'm here, a mother, a sister, a woman, not soft, not kind, but alive, surviving. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.